Okay. This is
Or find a person that you can then analyze to see if they're your mate. No?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. You're trying to get a filter for who do I want to be with,
Okay.
which is all everybody's ever doing. They're just not doing it very well. And so you go, okay, how can I do this? First, look at the biology. It's like a layer cake. The bottom layer is the biology.
Yeah.
So you got your major histocompatibility index, complex. You have your facial symmetry to see how close you'd be to somebody else, in terms of symmetry wise. I thought that was, and the third, the personality tests.
Okay.
Now, on top of the personality are going to be things like goals. I mean, if you have friends who you go, hey, my long-term goal in life is to travel the world, and your partner's long-term goal is to sit at home because they hate traveling, that's big enough of a problem, it might become an issue. And so these are the longer-term things. So you're going from this base biology of, okay, your hormones match theirs, to at the top of it is, here's our long-term goals, where we're going with our lives, our attitudes about really big topics, and then just underneath that is their personality in general. And so my hypothesis is that if you match these across multiple people, you could actually construct this in a sense. You could do a much better filtering mechanism from all the people in the world to my optimum compatible partner, or at least local optimum, but maybe not global.
What's the least? I guess I should say, what's the most rapid way of prototyping and testing this? How could we do this?
Well, I was wondering. I've never seen somebody do the MHC test, but I was wondering, like, with the genetic,
what's the cost for an MHC test, perhaps?
Yeah,
and then also, like, you'd have to have the ability to interpret it, perhaps, and all the other stuff.
So what you need is somebody to build an engine that would graphically take it and put it into like some kind of, okay, here's your value on A, here's your value on B, C, D, spit it out, put it out graphically to the web page to show people this is somebody that's compatible for you. Now, what's interesting is if you constrain this tightly, you might not have very many compatible matches. We're not just looking for 1 in 100. We might be looking at 1 in 10,000 people that match across all these dimensions.
I guess that's a lot of data to collect.
Yeah, and well, the thing is, it's not that. It's that since you're looking at 1 in 10,000, your potential mate could be living 180 miles from here or something, and you're going, dude, why can't you find somebody in San Diego? Well, because you wanted a very good fit. You didn't want just it's okay as a fit. You want a great fit.
What about just getting people a good fit?
You can do that. You could just
like a bargain relationship algorithm.
For $10 a month, you get somebody you can tolerate. They won't kick your ass and you won't kick theirs, so it's cool. Imagine.
I love that. Can you imagine tiering? What kind of mate do you want? Yeah, I want the premium. I want this full service package. And
it's like a Rolls Royce or a Tesla.
Yeah. Wow. But you know what? Maybe it's not so crazy that we're talking about this. Honestly,
no. Honestly,
you're thinking about all the data that we're already collecting.
Sure, why not?
It's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of whether it's possible or not. It's just when.
Right. It's just a matter of when, and
then that's a good way to capitalize on it is to, tier it. Why not?
Well, we've talked about this just briefly, you and I, before. Just I think about the idea of how much similarity do you want to have with your potential partner, and how much difference is there, so that you have novel things to each bring.
I guess 100%. The similarities would be near, core values, things that are like along that nature.
Sure.
And probably differences in like ideally would be where you lack, they pick up.
Sure.
But I don't know. Yeah.
But you could optimize that.
You can optimize that.
You can sit there and go, give me all the qualities of person A and person B, and they overlap 80%, and each one's making up what the other one doesn't have. And there's a little variance out there that, that each of them brings in separately.
Yeah.
And so you could sit there, you might be able to do this with big data with all kinds of things, from whether or not they spend their time in parks, because if you have GPS data on them, you can tell where they're spending their time, to whether or not they drive long distances, because somebody that hates
I was thinking about what you just said, actually.
Yeah.
So you're saying taking the data that's already there, like geo data that exists from your cell phone in your pocket all day.
Sure.
Which, at some point is going to be utilized to the highest bidder, right? Like, I mean, data eventually is all, if you're going to make money off it, you have to sell it. Mm-hmm. So somebody's going to utilize that data or at least maybe test. That's a good point. They can figure out all these traits.
Yeah, what are your traits I can access based on your geolocation?
If
you're on a college,
what kind of pattern is it? Like, how often do you go to certain places?
How active or sedentary are you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're moving or not, right? Because a lot of people are so attached to their phone to their hip, you can definitely track.
You can tell exactly.
Or even check this thing out. This thing's tracking my movement all the time. Hey, you need to stand up. Hey, you didn't do or whatever. Very true.
It's only a matter of time before you start pulling that salient information out. And it sounds so nefarious, but if people
What?
don't mind it. Huh?
What's the word?
Bad.
Bad.
Threatening.
Sounds bad. Yeah. All right.
It sounds so threatening, but if you think about it, what if it really could help you find that right person? You know, when you sit there and go, well, oh, I already have water.
Well, I'll give you some more water.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe can we please have some water? Thank you. That's our behind the scenes
Production assistant.
Oh.
First producer, Mimi.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and you sit there and think, what's the optimum? If you go, if the purpose, everybody has these good purposes.
She wants your glass.
Oh.
She doesn't want to come in the frame.
Waving at me.
No, she just doesn't want to come into the frame, so I get it. All good.
We all want the same things, right? We all want connection. The problem is we're trying to sort a haystack and get a needle out of it. You know, and of course, we're trying to sort 1,000 haystacks and go, where's the needle, the right person? Now, of course, it's possible you can go with somebody that's okay. But if you're saying, I really want the right person, it's a lifelong thing.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe you do pay. I'd gladly pay for it.
I mean,
I'd pay good money for it.
It's worth it.
Yeah, if you go, you're going to tell me you're going to find me an incredibly compatible person for the rest of my life. Who doesn't want that?
So it's one of those things that I feel that once you have the data,
yeah,
can be done.
Sure. But
today, how can we potentially like find, let's say, you a mate,
right?
Or what's the wireframe version of this that we can do? That's because I'm trying to think actionable. What's possible?
Well, I'm sure they have the Big Five inventory almost online. You can probably, I think that's open source now, actually.
Yeah.
So you can literally take it and just put it into a thing, and it analyzes the data with a script within, well, how the way you write, a day or less,
sure,
a couple hours, right? And you go, well, then okay, now I can get the Big Five, so that gives me a personality thing. But now I'm still kind of just competing with Neil Patrick Harris. I keep saying that. I know it's like, was it Neil Warren something?
I don't know.
The guy from eHarmony.
Oh.
And so the old guy who keeps saying that he's the guy. So many matches. Oh, thank you, miss. So there's so many. It's eHarmony, Dr. something, Neil Patrick Harris, that guy.
eHarmony guy?
Oh, there it is.
Dr. Neil Clark Warren.
Dr. Neil Patrick Harris.
I'm pretty sure that's the guy from
How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, How I Met Your Mother.
After How I Met Your Mother, he started a website.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's...
thanks.
Okay. That's great.
Then you're just competing on the software. You're going, okay, how can I
who's got the
somebody?
who's got the better algorithm?
Yeah, so you're gonna have to do better. You have to do more than that somehow. Which also leads me to, I'm kind of going, okay, well, maybe those MHT tests aren't that far away, because I don't know if they can do them right now or not. Because I know they have, sequencing for like $100, and that's 23andMe, and they'll tell you all kinds of stuff about your genome. Like, well, I can't believe this is
the ancestry stuff you're talking about? Yeah.
I can't believe that this is any more than that.
Have you done one of those?
No.
I feel skeptical. I feel skeptical about giving that kind of genetic information out. That's kind of like you're volunteering to basically be on a database of where they can scan you. I don't know. I'm sure eventually it might be unavoidable,